Hello.
We're live?
Yeah.
How was I supposed to know that?
I said that. I said I'm going live.
Yeah, no, she ain't say that.
I definitely did. Before you turn the music on, you should see if they can hear us.
Post. Why wouldn't they be able to hear us?
This maybe it's because it says it's the monitor, but the audio output. Let me see.
It says what?
Source. Camera. Cam link. Mic. Okay. It says it's the. I feel like I'll keep cutting out. Hope not.
You don't sound like you're cutting out on my end. Check.
Because it says I hear myself breathing. The audio output. Let me see.
It says what?
Source.
It's working. All right, let's get this party jumping. I feel like I need to play some hype. I don't even got nothing hype. Can't play that.
Hello. If you in here, say what's up so we can shout you out when we go live.
You ain't gotta be scared. Any way you want it, girl, I could take it there. You got my head going crazy, baby. Don't keep.
Why are you side-eyeing me?
What is that?
It's a song. You don't like it?
I'm not gonna say I don't like it because you might have wrote it.
But you don't like it?
Just the beat definitely wasn't grabbing me.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see how many
Definitely
seconds.
a little.
See how seconds the beat ain't even dropped yet.
It did.
That's the beat drop.
That's what it, I mean, it ain't the beat drop, but it's definitely the beat.
Name it, baby, I got it. What you need, I got it. Say the word and I make it work, baby. I'm just being honest. All you gotta do is tell me, girl, and I will do. Cause I want you, I want you, girl. You ain't gonna need nobody else. You want me as
Is this a lesbian?
This is a song I wrote. A girl demoed it
Oh.
because I couldn't hit the note, so it was a female singer. But it's for actually, you know what? Pre-pod story, I was in the studio with Day 26. It was me, Duran, and they had all these songwriters, producers in the room, and they was just everybody play something, whatever we like, we leaving with today, and it's gonna make the project. So we played this song. The whole studio like, man, it's crazy. The whole studio go up. They were like, this is the first song we picked. It was only 2 songs they picked. We must have like 50 songs that night. They only picked 2. This was one of them. They broke up like 2 weeks after for like the 3rd time, and this was like after they weren't even like really. They wouldn't really do much anyway. And it was everybody but Q who was there. But yeah, I thought this was my first placement. I was like, oh snap, y'all, we made it, and didn't make it. I was celebrating. I cried. I was like, bro, I've been waiting this. I've been working so hard. It's finally here.
You cried in the studio?
No. It was a long drive home from Detroit, and I was just really grateful. You're a vibe kill.
What you want me to
You're
say?
fine.
I don't have anything else.
Your facial expressions. I hope y'all see this. I want her to watch this back. Just like I'm saying, she's just like this your face.
Well, I heard the story before.
You've never heard that story before.
I've heard the story about you being in the studio with Day 26. It did not end with them picking your song, but
She has never heard the story before.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
But no, I want you to watch this back and
I remember you talking
I want you
about
to watch this back and see
I'm
your
not gonna
face.
say that out loud.
I want you to see your face while I'm talking to you. So you can be like,
Okay.
just be looking like, shut up.
I'm not looking like shut up. I was just trying to figure out the crux of the song. I mean, that's a story.
It's been 10 weeks, 7 days, 5 hours, 1 minute since we ended our relationship. Oh, you were more than just my man. We really had a friendship. And I don't know what it was while we split up, but ooh, it must have been foolish. Don't even know why we was fighting, but ooh,
Shayla. Welcome in. Thanks for joining us on a Friday.
I wish I wasn't alone. How I wish you would text me. Wanna hear your voice, so I listen to the last voicemail that you left me. Driving myself crazy, spending all day just reminiscing. Acting like you can't reply, but I see that you read my message. Boy, don't miss your blessing. Oh, I can't even lie. You've been on my mind. I'll be at the crib, wondering when you gon' hear my line. I think about you all the time.
One rocking with us tonight. We done threw everybody off schedule.
I know that you know that I know that we're never gonna be body inclined again. We just friends, but baby, honestly, I don't wanna let you go for nothing. I miss you now more than I ever did. I guess you could say a little too much, little too much. It's been 10 weeks, 7 days, 5 hours, 1 minute since we ended our relationship. Oh, you were more than just my man. We really had a friendship. And I don't know what it was.
Do us a favor. When you join the live, share it, please. Let people know we on.
Don't even know why we was fighting. But ooh, it must have been stupid. Wondering when you gon' hear my line. I think about you all the time.
One more play this.
The moment when you enough.
Hey, Miss Ash. How you doing?
The moment when you realize he doesn't care. He doesn't care for you. The moment when you realize he's never there for you. When you need him and every time he's leaving, you feel like he's deceiving you. You never believe him, don't trust him, his behavior is disgusting. You finally realize you gotta get away. All I'm trying to say is you don't know how to appreciate. Trying to do it now.
Hello, Brittany. Right up button to pop in and pop off. But hey, I saw you when you popped on, girl.
Sick and tired of being pushed around. You pick me up just to put me down. And every time I turn around, my heart is broken. I'm picking the pieces of the ground.
You see that middle knob right there?
This one?
Nope. Yes. Twist that in front, like towards you. Towards you.
Not towards me. It's away from me.
All right, now pull it the whole to the side, like no, other way. Yeah.
Why that way?
So it doesn't tip. It's less. Yeah. You didn't.
This way?
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be that much, but just it'll stop from tipping over. Now you will have to.
All right, we got Tree People and about 58% battery.
Let's get it going. I already shared. Let me hop in. Turn this down.
How y'all doing tonight? It's rainy where we are. I know at least 2 people is in the same position. I don't know who the third person that was on ain't on no more.
Did I share this? I thought I did.
Yeah, it said you did.
All right, bet. Going here. What up, y'all? Friday night pod. Life been lifing, so we had to just figure it out. But we're trying our best to be consistent. So, seeing what the Friday night pod get. I thought our age range was staying at home on Friday nights. Y'all still going out partying, huh? I see.
They all at Chick-fil-A.
They ain't at Chick-fil-A. They at the Post. They at the Post. If you're not from where we from, that's the OG spot. That's where the OGs go.
Hey, KB, how you doing? We just popped on here Friday night real quick just to say what's up. What's up, Lawrence? How you doing?
You said KB.
Not that KB.
Oh.
KB from Jackson.
What up, though?
He thought his management was up in here. He don't really support us like that. I don't even know why he's playing.
He's stupid. Oh, you said at work? Dang. What up, Lawrence? What's going on, family? Wanika on here? Oh, we got a little people rocking with us.
Wanika ain't say what's up? What's up, Wanika?
You know, it just when you enter and it lets you know.
Oh, that I hate that because I be doing that on people and they be speaking to me and I be like, I just popped in like I got the notification that you was like,
see, you gotta watch them on your home screen. The moment you click on it and they're like, you actually go to the live and you see the comments, that's when they know you were there. You can't just click on live. You just gotta watch it from your timeline.
I used to get notifications from like everybody that went live. I pretty much turned those off, but. So I
like
would like
when someone
hit the
went live and have nothing to do with you, or just
say,
yeah, that's annoying. that will work my nerve.
That was my well, I won't say new to Facebook. It was like until maybe last year.
Sheesh.
I still have it for certain people, but now I don't get it when everybody goes live.
Unless it got something to do with me, don't notify me. Don't tell me at all.
That's like TikTok. They just be tagging all their followers.
I hate that. I hate the little. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I still do it when we go live, but I even hate the @followers @highlight.
Oh, really?
Since such highlighted you. Oh, they did go there. This ain't got nothing to do with me.
Oh no, I like that. Just don't tag me and 99 other people. That's what I don't like.
@followers is you and 5,000 people.
But that's just like a notification. I'm good with that. But like before I switched my my settings, it used to just show up on my page. Now I have to approve everything because people was tagging me and stuff, and I'm like, I don't support your rap career, bro.
Dang,
like
that's
stop, please stop.
That's fine. I ain't gonna lie. Same thing though. Same thing. And I've been doing music a long time. I have never just spammed people. Like, if you don't got nothing to do with this, I'm not finna just be like, hey, everybody that I know here, check out the song. I respect the hustle, but it's the worst promo in the world. Because now I'm never gonna listen to it because you don't work my nerves.
It's just irritating.
And you dropping a song a week, like how you did 3 songs in a week. Like
my thing is like it don't be music. Like if I support it, like if you tag me, well, you're my husband, so maybe that's not a good idea. But anybody from your collective tag me in something like cool, I'ma like it, I'ma share it, I'ma do that. You know, it's good Christian music. But the stuff I be getting tagged in is like shoot him up, kill him, tie him, put him in a body bag, cut his head off. I be like, oh no, I can't. I do not support this.
I don't even trip. If the music is good, If it's legitimately good, like it could be a love song or like, you know.
Nah, I don't get none of that.
Now I had a couple of homies that was a little violent with it. They was nice with it.
All my stuff is like it's in the convenience store with guns. And I'm like, it's just me accepting friend requests. See, you got me on that. You
what?
Like accepting the random friend requests. You're like, you never know who you ministering to. So now I got all these random people, these gangbangers on my
See, yeah, you posting all the scriptures. Who you think need it? Who you think need to see it? Look,
what is this? It only work. It only go both. It only go one way. Like I can't have it the other way around. I want to minister to them. I don't want them to minister to me.
Yeah, nah. That ain't well, you did it right. You made it so you had to approve it to get on your page.
Guess who's in the comments today?
I already know who.
Who?
You ain't gotta say it. I can't say your old nickname because we used to call him C Diddy.
I remember. That used to be like his moniker on.
Legitimately, you had to change all your handles. You was on Twitter like C Diddy Twitty.
Mm-hmm.
Hey fam, we gonna let it die, bro. My boy Chase here. What up, family? My boy, you get air horns and a round of applause.
He said ninjas need Jesus too. They do. They definitely do. I said I will minister to them. I don't have no problem. It's just when they be trying to minister they stuff to me, then it just be like,
just trying to get their song off. They just trying to make it. They just trying to make it, babe. That's it. They done spent their little $200 on a video.
I don't knock the hustle.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't.
They saw your profile. I was like, yo, she would like my music.
She's gonna love it.
She's gonna like this.
I don't understand what about me on Facebook.
Oh,
made
yes,
me
you
think
do.
I was gonna like.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Maybe they don't know you from Facebook. Maybe they know about you in real life.
I don't know these people.
Maybe they heard about you in real life. They was like, yeah, oh, yo, that's.
I
know her. She used to be.
I don't know these people. I done had 3 last names since I was a gangster. Like I don't know these people.
You never was a gangster.
I had 3 whole last names. I don't know who you are. I'm sorry. If I ran into you in the trap, what T I say?
All right.
No.
Okay. All right. All right. It's going downhill quickly. All right, y'all. We're gonna get started with the episode. Once again, it's a Friday night pod. We usually are a Thursday. I think at one point was it Wednesdays? Maybe I'm tripping.
At some point, you confusing people because Candace like, well, maybe something's happening because y'all switched from Wednesdays to Thursdays. I said, that's been 3 years. She said,
it's been a while, yeah. But I'm just saying, we've never done a Friday.
No, I don't. Well, maybe as a makeup, but not as a regularly scheduled practice.
For sure.
And I see why.
Yeah.
People be out there out in the world.
Now, y'all out here?
They outside.
30s and up, y'all still outside? Sheesh. I'm in the crib.
Or they Netflix and chilling. That's most likely what it is. Like, look, I'm not turning off Wheel of Time to watch them. I catch them on the playback.
Don't nobody would listen to know what you talking about.
Oh, they don't watch Wheel of Time? Yes, they do.
Game of Thrones, Wheel of Time. I feel like we the eyeballs out.
No, people watch Game of Thrones.
Now they hit. But in the beginning, I used to talk to all the black people in my job. They'd be like, what? I'd be like, yeah, no, it's about like, you would like it. It's like dragons. And they're like, okay, all right.
It's definitely not a black people show.
Not at all. Not at all. I don't even think there was black people on there, was it? Not in the original.
Not in the original.
Nah, not till they started remixing it.
Chase said he at home with the doors locked.
Hey, look, you understand. We're at that phase of life. We inside, bro. We are inside.
Inside or at work.
That part. You ready to get started?
I've been ready.
All right. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Russell the Fourth.
Hey, everybody. It is me, Brandy.
And welcome to another live episode of the What They Never Told Us podcast. We back, man.
I thought he was going to say, let's go.
And we live, man. You thought I was going to say what?
Let's go. I said you switch it up on me.
I say that?
Yeah.
And we are back with another episode of podcast. Let's go. I do not say that. Ain't nowhere in the world. You got to show me proof. Even saying it back, I felt a cringe in my spirit. And if I haven't said that, I know the listeners felt the cringe. And if I ever said, let's go after that.
It don't be like that. Like, let's go.
How I say it?
I'm going to play it for you. Because now it's in the moment. It feel forced. It don't feel natural. No, it just doesn't feel.
What's
natural.
going on, y'all? It's your boy Russell the Fourth.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Brandy.
And we are back with another episode of the What They Never Told Us podcast. What's going on? Let's go. Hey, never in my life. I try to say it more calm.
It's just because it feels forced now. You focus it on the words, but when it naturally flows out of you definitely be hitting it.
I feel what I feel in my spirit immediately when I say back with an episode of the What They Never Told Us podcast. I feel what's going on, or like I don't feel like let's go.
Doesn't give you a shundo in your spirit.
Nah, that I'm cringing at the thought of me saying that.
See, I hate when you tell me to find something, like find when you say it. We have 100 episodes.
And if it's something consistent, then it should be easy. We've been doing the same intro since season 1.
Fine when I said that this
you said
happened.
it.
I'd be like,
you said it like it's something I always say.
No, I'm not talking about this. I'm just talking about examples. Like when we talk about, oh yeah, you did say that. You'd be like, find it for me.
Mm-hmm. You said on the podcast. You say I said something on here. You can find proof.
I don't remember the episode, but I know you said it.
Mm-hmm.
Ask him if you said it.
Mm-hmm. Ask it. If I say let's.
The last thing that you not let's go. The last thing that you said that you did.
Right now, if you are listening to this and you ever heard me do our intro and say let's go. Or if you are a listener, an OG of what they never told us, and you are listening via the audio, write us, hit us up on social media and say, yo, I ain't gonna lie.
You do be hitting that let's go, right?
You have never heard me say, what they never told us podcast, let's go. Like, ain't no way in the world, G. Ain't no way in the world.
I don't know why you think you cool. You really not that cool. You definitely be saying, let's go.
So we had to adjust.
Turn it.
As you know, usually Friday mornings is when you get the posting of the live episode on streaming platforms. You'll notice that it's dropping on a Saturday for listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It's because we be busy. We parents, we got lots of kids. So change of pace. We are going live on a Friday night. It is Friday night and we are live podding. So clearly people out in these streets, maybe they didn't get the announcement that we was going to be. So we don't have a whole lot of people with us, but the people that we do, who we got, babe?
We have Jonathan Duncan, who says, y'all definitely married. Woo! And for sure we are.
For real
we
married.
Act like an old married couple, even though we ain't been married that long. Chase is on here. That's a new name to y'all. New to y'all, but old to Russ. Not me. I've never met dog. Chase, but I feel like I know Chase.
That's my friend. He was in my first wedding. Yeah, been with me for 2 of them things. Been with me then, with me now. My brother, what's going on?
KB was at work, was stopped in and said, hey. Shayla was on here, is on here. I'm not gonna say is. Miss Ashley and Juanika popped in to say, hey. Lawrence, and if there's anybody else who was in here but not in the chat, please drop your name so we can give y'all a little shout out.
Absolutely. This is a rare moment, and I know we're few and far in between, but this is the rare moment where there are more fellas in the chat than ever before, and I got to take advantage of this because, fellas, I'm usually outnumbered. Okay? Now, I just posted a clip on social media of a very tense moment in the last episode, and I would like to revisit it if it's all right with my boo. Okay.
I didn't see the clip.
Let me give you some context, okay? We, in this season of our life, outside of the podcast, have found ourselves involved, whether it's counseling or just with a friend or trusted person who our ears are landing zones for issues. Like if people we know are going through something, we get brought those situations sometimes, okay? So we were recently talking about how infidelity happens, okay? And we've had this little tension behind this conversation. Look, you see that? You see her like, adjusting herself.
I have to shake off the previous frustrations.
Listen here.
Prepare myself for new ones.
So what happened on the episode is we were talking about an issue in a relationship, something that has the ability to lead into other things. And I said, on the episode,
you are being way too vague.
I said, this is what happens. And next thing you know, now you're more comfortable talking to the girl at your job than going to your wife about a situation. Now you're more comfortable confiding in somebody else. And immediately, woo, the tension rose. And she said something to this degree, not exact wording, but it was like, see, in my mind, you not getting what you need in a relationship does not mean you need to go get it from somewhere else. And this is about the 3rd or 4th time I heard you say that. And to me, it's giving red flag, right? So I want to be clear, babe. Have you ever heard me say, if you don't get what you need in a relationship, you have the right to go get it somewhere else? Have you ever heard me say that or even insinuate that that's okay?
I don't think you're going to like the answer to that.
You're free to say what you want. I don't. I've explained it so much that if you were to say that, it'd be like so inaccurate. But I mean, go off. It's your ears. You've heard me say that. That's okay.
I haven't heard you say that in not so many words, but you don't necessarily have to say those words in order to say that.
That's all right. It's my turn to cringe. You go ahead.
Because what happens is we're usually, so it's not just one person. We've had several friends come to us with this particular situation. There's something happening in their marriage and they are either thinking about stepping out or have done things that are inappropriate in their relationship. And I feel like you've never said, I agree that this person is right for doing that. I will give you full credit on that. But what I have heard you say is more of a like justification for it. And to me, there is no justification for it. So to me, if you can justify something, then you, in your mind, you can think that somewhere in there that made sense. Like, because this, and this happened, like, what did you expect them to do? And be faithful. That's what I expect them to do. And that's just where I land. And you have said that. You have said, what do you expect them to do? And my answer is be faithful.
For sure. I want to give myself a round of applause. I'm doing so good. You see how I didn't interrupt. I held my peace. I sat back. I let my baby go off. What you hear me doing is empathizing with the other person. Because what happens usually is when there's infidelity, the cheater is automatically the villain. Right? And here's my thought process. You can have 4 years of neglect in a relationship, and that's just stick it out, fight, be strong. But they're not the villain for neglecting their spouse. They can go 4, 5, 6 years without being intimate with their spouse, and they're never the villain. They're just going through something. There's all this wind of understanding. and the other person who is neglected is just like, suck it up, buttercup. Marriage isn't easy. I'm not saying that infidelity is wrong. I'm just empathizing with the double standard. I'm empathizing with the wrong thinking. It's like the cheating, the infidelity sometimes is the symptom. The neglect and whatever happened in the marriage where you start confiding in other people, when you start being comfortable, like, you know, because it's not like it's usually a process. And that process usually starts when there's a problem. I'm not saying that cheating is right if you're not getting what you need. And I think I've said so many times, it's wrong. I've said it so many times. I'm saying two things can be true. Cheating is wrong. Neglecting your spouse is wrong. This is a symptom. We have to address the sickness as well. Wrong. But if we're going to fix this, it's not just addressing infidelity. It's also addressing intimacy issues. It's also addressing trust issues. It's also addressing whatever it is that led to the person who was so dedicated in one season and now in this season feels like it's easier to step out than to step at home. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's right, but it's just such a disparity. It's like, I
think when you step out on the outside of your marriage, you did that. You took the focus off what the main thing was, and you put it on what you decided to do out of frustration, out of neglect. In a marriage, in my opinion, there is no villain and victim. We in this thing together.
That sounds good. That's just not true. It's just not true. This whole conversation is evidence.
No.
That even though that's how you think, though that's...
Can I finish what I was saying?
I was doing so good before.
For like 10 minutes. And
you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Apologies, please.
There is no villain and victim in my mind. Like, if somebody does someone wrong and it's unintentional, it's a byproduct of something that they're facing. And I'm not saying this as a woman, because in my previous marriage, I was the person who got quote unquote done wrong, if that's what we want to call it. Like, I was the person who would have had, I don't want to say an excuse because I feel like I'm downplaying what you're saying, but just for the sake of this conversation, would have had an excuse to go do something outside of my marriage because I wasn't getting what I needed. However, I don't know what he was facing that caused the situation in general. So I don't see him anymore as a villain in the situation because I didn't take the time to understand what was causing the problem in the first place. And that's where I landed in the episode. Is like, we're always looking to place blame on somebody, like, because you did this, then I did this, and because I did this, then you did that. And like, if we're supposed to be together in this thing, if we're supposed to be working together, if it's supposed to be us two becoming one, then it ain't who did who wrong. Like, that's just finger pointing, and then you go do something to get me back, and it's just all petty. I don't feel like, because we have an issue in our relationship, and I know you're not saying this, but I just want to say it again. I don't feel like because we have an issue in our relationship, the answer is, if I'm not getting it from you, I got to get it from somebody else. I've been that person that wasn't getting what I needed in the situation, and I didn't go run and get it somewhere else. I don't think that is, you have to address the problem. I 100% agree. But when you do things as a result of feeling neglected, feeling, I don't know, whatever it is that we feel that makes us do things outside of our marriage, like, you take the focus off what the main thing was. Because even though that person is doing something to hurt you, especially when it's not intentional, I don't think that then the get back is, I'll go cheat, or I'll go have a
That's not how
private
that
conversation or whatever.
That's not how that happens. And I know in your mind you don't think that there's a villain in this, but that's definitely not the tone. Every time we're having this conversation, it's not even about cheating. Like, the conversation we're having in the podcast was about intimacy in marriage. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned that as a byproduct of failed intimacy, I started mentioning the things that could go wrong. Among the things that I mentioned, cheating wasn't the only one. I mentioned several things, but when I got to cheating, the whole conversation shifted, and you said, I'm sorry, I've heard you say this a couple of times, and your whole conversation shifted because you let me go. I let you go, let me go. The conversation shifted because although your last situation, you were the one that got done wrong and you didn't cheat, but you've also cannot escape your context. We've talked about it on the podcast before, so this isn't a new conversation. You have been in multiple relationships where you have been cheated on. That's a trigger. And because of that, when we go there, it's like a thing. You can't escape your context. When I read the Bible, I read it as a black man. So multiple races can read this scripture, a slave obey a master. It's going to mean something different to a black person in America when I read that, because I can't escape my context of what I come from, what I've experienced. So I read the Bible through that lens. It's the same way in life. Like, you can't escape your context. In this context, as a woman, I think that cheating thing strikes a nerve sometimes. And it automatically, although you're saying there's no villain, every time we bring it up, it automatically becomes the focus of the person who cheated. And all I'm saying, and I don't even know how this is getting misconstrued, is me supporting cheating or me saying it's okay or even advocating for stepping outside of your marriage. All I'm saying is that cheating can happen in one night. And because of that one night, it is the huge thing. But we can have 4 years of an abusive neglect, and it's okay. They're not a villain. We don't even focus on it. The person who cheats is villainized. And I just think if they're villainized for that, then if that's such a focus, then the 4 years of neglect should also be a focus. That's all I'm saying. And although you're saying the same thing, I need to know every time we come to this, why is it me even pointing this out becomes me advocating for cheating? It almost is like you're saying something, and
first of all, I apologize to y'all. I've never said the words that you're advocating for cheating.
You said what I said. That was after this podcast, but before that, you said specifically, you've heard me say 3 or 4 times, and the clip's on. I just edited it. That's why it's fresh on my mind. But you said, not exact wording, but main point of what you're saying was you've heard me say several times that you not getting what you need in a relationship means that you can get it somewhere else. And I've never said that.
I'm gonna read a comment before I respond. Jonathan Duncan says they should be villainized if they cheat. If you're not getting what you need, leave the marriage.
Agreed.
And this is exactly very close to what I was saying. I said, we as people have a hard time just sitting in something that is a problem or something that feels uncomfortable. And because of that, like if you say, hey, you haven't been intimate with me in 4 years, this is a problem for me. I've sat in it long enough. We either got to fix it or I got to go. To me, that's not making the person a victim. That's the issue right there. The issue is our intimacy. I just feel like when we start to put things that come outside of that, that takes the focus off of what the real issue is. I have never deviated from the fact that if there is something that is even making you feel like you need to go outside of your marriage, that thing is the issue. And we need to sit in that thing until we figure out what it is, or we need to leave each other alone. My wholehearted opinion is, regardless if I've been cheated on or not, before I've ever been cheated on, if I was in when I was thinking about, hey, getting in a relationship, cheating was always a deal breaker for me, because it's telling me that you don't want to work on what this is anymore.
Agreed.
You've decided something, and now even if what my thing isn't, I'm not doing it to intentionally hurt you, whatever it is, If I am the problem, then address the problem with me.
Yeah.
You don't go somewhere else. And so that's what I'm saying. It just takes the attention off of what the real problem is. I'm not saying that the person that cheated is the problem, but I'm saying what they did as a result of their problem takes the attention off of what the real problem is. If we have a real problem, we need to address that. In addressing it, you can't address it with somebody else. You have to address it with me. And if you choose to go somewhere else and do that, I'm sorry if I see you as a bad person, because you had a problem with me and your answer was, I got to go talk to somebody else that's not a therapist or a counselor or a minister. I have to go confide in the bottle. I have to go confide in drugs and find comfort in drugs, whatever the thing is. It don't have to be another person.
I agree. We're not saying something different. I just have a point of empathy that I think, because what I'm saying is like, wrong is wrong. And I said this on the episode. I'm just reiterating again. Wrong is wrong. I'm not advocating for how people think, but I am just putting out there that this is a reality. Yes, in a perfect world, wrong is wrong, right is right, and people just do what's right. But that's not what happens. And if it's one thing this is what COVID taught me. Before COVID, the standard for employment was so high, yo. People were breaking their necks to get a job at McDonald's. Then it was on picket lines like, y'all not paying us enough. They was like, oh, well, you don't like it, go to college, get a degree, and get a better job. If not, work at McDonald's and pay what we paying you. Then people got sick and started dying. People found out there's other ways to make money other than going to work during COVID. And then when the workforce tried to return, they found out, oh, snap. What do? We don't got nobody to do these jobs. All right, cool. Let's pay them more at McDonald's. Yeah, let's raise minimum wage. Oh, let's tell people if they work for 3 months, we'll give them a bonus. What we found out after COVID is that good people are rare. Cheating is wrong. Yes, what I'm saying is that in the reality of this world, you have to do people right. You have to love people well, because good people are rare. And we treat people and take them for granted. And then when they're gone, we act like, oh my God. It's like, no, do right by them while they're with you. Have the conversation. Reciprocate. If there's a barrier to you giving them what they need, then let's have the conversation. All I'm doing is advocating for that. That's where I'm putting my emphasis on. And when I bring up the things that can go wrong when we don't do it, it's not me advocating for it. I'm just like, this is the world we live in. Yes, it's wrong. But what do you think is going to happen? Even if they don't cheat on you, even if they just leave, you still without the good person. Like, this was just one of the examples I gave, but when you bring it up, that becomes a focus other than how we got here. It's like, let's focus on that. We all want to focus on the end result. Okay, but what about that? That's all I'm saying.
I think that you said a few things that are key in the conversation, and this is really specific to us. I'm looking at the chat and I see other people saying some of the same things, but this conversation and how it came up is really specific to us. I think that what you said is very true. You have empathy for those people. I have empathy for, if in this situation that we're talking about, this is a man and a woman. So you have a sympathy for the man that is in this situation.
I'm not putting gender to it. I just in this scenario, the person who's not getting what they need is not about man or woman for me.
I'm talking about the origin of the conversation because I think that that's important.
Why?
And I think it's important because it's very specific to why I think you felt like I was advocating for that person. Because all I'm saying is I understand both sides of it. I understand being a person who is carrying issues and those issues can potentially affect my relationship and I'm not sure how to work through it. And I also understand the side of the person who's like, hey, I'm in a marriage and I'm not getting what I need and I don't know how to fix it. I've been on both sides, one in marriage and one and several outside of marriage. All I was saying in our conversation about this is that the same empathy that you feel for one person, I feel for another. But because the empathy is shifted in a different direction, it feels like blame or pointing fingers. And I could very well say the same thing for what you're saying. Like, well, why are we only blaming this person? We ain't understanding why they have this issue. But the truth is, like, everybody's messed up. Like, nobody's perfect. So if you can't expect the person who's not getting what they need to act perfectly, you can't expect the person who's not giving them what they need to act perfectly. And it's not fair that because one person isn't acting perfectly, then we say, oh, well, this person acted this way because they're not perfect. Neither one of them are perfect.
Absolutely.
So I go back to my original statement. When you do whatever it is outside of your relationship, besides addressing the issue, you take the focus off of what the issue is. Neither one of y'all are perfect. I don't know why you didn't get what you needed for the length of time that you needed. It was wrong, but it's also wrong to step outside and try to get that from another source while you're still in a marriage.
Of course, that's one thing that we've never said differently. I think that one thing was, I was trying to figure out how I got a red flag for it's a red. I'm like, when did you get it?
I think then that's a conversation that we should have.
I was like, how does this even trickle into our stuff? We got some comments. Christopher James Robinson, what's good, family? My boy, good to have you on. You get air horns. Don't be cheating, period. Don't leave either. Don't get married if you're not 100% commitment. Also, don't be going 4 years without. And clap for 4 years. Who's sitting around that long? There we go. I'm gonna leave that alone. Christopher James Robinson, I'm a therapist. Who cares? He said rock is wrong. Shalonda Brunson says treat people how you want to be treated. Thank you. I agree. On both sides. Jonathan, the empathy should be applied to both. Sounds like both aren't getting what they need. Absolutely. Both sides have a point for sure. Absolutely. 100%. I don't think we're saying different things. I don't think we're saying different things at all. I think somewhere in there, for some reason, we got mixed up in it. And I was like, I don't know how we're landing different places in the conversation when I don't think we're saying different things from my opinion. I don't think we're saying different things. Cheating is wrong. I've said that a million times. You not getting what you need doesn't mean you have a right to cheat. Doesn't mean you should cheat. What you should do is break up. All I'm saying is,
if you're not married,
what I'm saying is that in this world that we live in, when you look at the landscape, I do think having an understanding of the imperfections of people, I think there's no way you're going to expect a relationship to go right. Whatever the end result is going to be, if you're ignoring. And I'm talking about situations where you are expressing it. My scenario wasn't just somebody who's just like, I have an issue and I'm not talking about. I'm talking about you're going out of your way to talk about it and you're being ignored. You're being pushed aside. What do you think is going to happen? Even if they just leave, you still lost a good person. It's not about cheating. It's just about love people well if you want to keep them. Because what ends up happening is like when they get ready to go, and it's like, oh no, wait. Oh no, hold on. But by then, damage is done that you can't come back from. And it don't have to be cheating. It's just like, yo, treat people right if you want to hold on to them. Like if they mean something to you and there's a barrier that's stopping you from loving them how they need to be loved, then let's do the work, whatever that is. And if you are doing the work and you're just like, look, I just don't have that in me. Like what you need from me, I genuinely don't see me giving you that. Then let's make the hard decision.
Yeah. I have nothing else to add to that conversation. I think I've said all that I can say 2 times now. And
let's move on.
I ain't got nothing else to add. And I think in the episode, we ended the conversation just really honing in on the fact that, you know, a marriage between 2 people is never a perfect scenario. And I think sometimes we just have to really learn how to suffer well. And if we have 2 people that are actively committed to working on a situation, who knows what the end will be. But like the goal every day is just to work and get better. Now, if you want to stay stuck, marriage is probably not the best situation for you because one of you is going to end up feeling like you've been shafted in the situation. Like it's about doing the work every single day. Love is about choosing the person every single day, minute by minute, hour by hour. And if you are making the choice to choose me, then I'm making the choice to choose you. And we're going to work this thing out until we can't work it no more. And I think that a lot of times issues come up when people just stop deciding to do the work. We just have accepted the what's the word that I'm looking for? The standard. This is what the standard is for our relationship. We've both accepted that, and now we just stuck trying to figure it out. Jonathan says, how long did they know each other before marriage? Who is they? We can't be telling you too many context clues. We've known each other for a long time.
This is a made-up scenario, which is hypotheticals, my G. Like, hypothetically speaking, let's just say they knew each other for 3 years beforehand. That's just me throwing a year out there. I have no idea. I'm just throwing numbers out there.
Oh, sorry. Your scenario. Yeah, that's just made up. It's hypothetical. We was asking for a friend.
Hypothetical. I'm really just making that number up. Let's just say 3 years. 3 years, I would say, is a good time frame to where you could enter into a romantic scenario confident, like, okay, I've been around them enough to know, like, you know.
It's like, how are you spending your 3 years? Like, because that matters too. Like, I think sometimes we just date wrong and we're not trying to figure out who the person is while we're dating.
They weren't dating for 3 years.
Who? I thought it was a made up scenario.
In this scenario, I think it's like how long they know each other before.
It says before marriage. What is they doing?
Oh, before marriage. I thought it was before they were in a relationship.
No, he said how long did they know each other before marriage?
Oh, well, I have no idea. I thought it's how long they know each other.
I think a lot of it is we date wrong and we don't date to really know the person. We just date to feel good and to have fun and to enjoy spending time. And that is a part of it. But also, if you're dating with intention, you should be dating to really figure out who the person is that you're getting ready to be committed to. And it's asking the tough questions. It's having the hard conversations. It's meeting all the people that they related to that done played a part in who they is standing in front of you. All of that should be happening while we're dating. And I think it may not help us avoid all the problems, but it will help us avoid some problems that we get married and we like discover that this is something that you've been dealing with your whole life or for the last 5 years or whatever it is. And because I didn't take the time to ask those tough questions and really get to the crux of that while we were dating, now it's an issue when we're married.
Can you do the thing where you put comments up there?
Yep. Which one?
Jonathan Duncan says, okay, dig it. I think people get married too quick sometimes is why I asked.
Absolutely.
I think that's a good place to kind of plant our flag for a little bit. Let's just ask the chat. Let's survey the chat. What is a good time frame to date, to court, to be in a relationship prior to marriage? What do you think is like a safe number?
I have varying opinions on this.
Yeah, I think it's going to vary.
The answers, because like to date is like, did I just meet you off Snapchat and we dating now? Or have I like known you since childhood and now we decided to date? I think a lot plays into that. But when I was dating you, my first lady said, make sure you see him in all 4 seasons. And I was like, huh? Like I really thought that meant just like date him for a year, right? But it's like seasons of life, like things that you like. I want to see how you act when you're frustrated. I want to see who you are when you're mad. I want to see who you are when you're sad. I want to see how you behave when things are going well. Like I need to see all aspects that will affect our marriage. I need to see that out of you before I marry you.
Absolutely.
I don't know how long it takes, but I need to see that.
Absolutely. Devin says, amen. Dating is for observation, 100%. Eric Butler says 5 years. Devin says 4 seasons. Shay says 2 years. John Duck says 3 to 5 years with intent to marry at least. There was a couple things in there that I really want to highlight. Dating is for observation, which I think speaks to intentionality, right? And Jonathan says 3 to 5 years with intent for marriage. Like when you're dating on purpose, I think, and I can't remember what episode this was. So I just remember us going round and round about this. We got so stuck on this. We were talking about dating, and I was really heavy on like, I just don't see the point in casual dating. Like, even if it's like you're just dating to find and start getting yourself out there, you're still dating with the intent to find the person that you want to do life with versus just dating to occupy your time. I think that's dangerous. We ain't gonna turn down that street, but I only brought that up to say intent is so important. It's so important that it changes the number. Like you can date with intention for 2 years and know everything you need to know because you're intentional about it. You had the difficult conversations. You sat and worked through issues. Like if you do 2 years right, you might be ready for marriage in that time span, right? 5 years might be better, but it's really about where your mindset is and your partner's mindset during that time frame that really expedites or slows down the process of, okay, are we ready to take that step? And a lot of people don't do that right. I was one. So I know how that goes.
Shalonda says, I'm not sure there's a safe number. My husband and I didn't date long, and we've been happily married for 10 years. Yes, we had challenges, but we're still standing. Commitment, like the time doesn't erase the commitment, if that makes sense. Like you can date for a short time and maybe not see all the things you need to see, and then you get married. But if you're committed to working it out, you're married to your marriage, then I think it can still work out. And it just sounds like y'all are committed to making it work. I think best practice would be to date and figure out everything that you can figure out beforehand. But Russell and I didn't date long, and I think sometimes we both can pass it off like, but we've known each other for 20 plus years, but we didn't know each other as adults. We had to relearn each other, but we dated with so much intention that we were having very hard, very intense conversations. And then we went through like marriage, premarital counseling boot camp before then, just to make sure. And it brought up issues that we hadn't talked about, even though we dated for 1.5 years with intention.
Danielle, what up, though?
Hey, Danielle. Welcome in.
Welcome.
So just to catch you up to speed real quick, we're talking about how long you think you should date before you get married.
For sure.
So I don't think it's a right or wrong answer. I love all the answers that were in there, especially people who said longer, because I think there's a stigma against people who date for a long time. Like, well, why haven't you got married yet? If you've been dating, I used to feel like that. Like if I've been dating you for 5 years and you don't know yet, but maybe it's still something you need to see. And I would say, as long as it takes you to see it, then date or leave them alone. If you still ain't seen what you think you need to see in 5 years, maybe that's what I'm gonna say. Leave them alone.
How do you know when it's just somebody who is kind of just not ready to take that step and ain't got nothing to do with you? Maybe it's just them.
Yeah, I don't know if I want nobody that's that unsure about where they want to go in their life.
Yeah, but how do you know the difference?
I hope we having that conversation. They're like, no, it's not you, it's me. Okay, cool. Well, I'm ready. So I'm gonna go find somebody that's ready. I don't know. I think it's very much a personal preference. Like if there are two people who are committed to just figuring it out together, and it takes them 5 years, 10 years to do that, then cool. But I think where I was at coming out of a marriage and getting ready for a second marriage, if we was 3 years in and you like, man, I just still am not ready. You know, I got divorced and I don't know if I'm ready to take that step. I'm not sure that I would be ready, but would have stayed there and waited because I had done the work and I knew what I wanted.
Absolutely. Jonathan Duncan says pre-marriage counseling is clutch for real, bro. You have never lied.
It has to be done right too.
Yeah.
Because we both had it the first time.
Yeah, it's clutch for real. Like when you're doing it right, like she says, like it's so necessary. And yeah, I think it's just natural for us to like want to spend our moments, especially when it's somebody who you're dating or who you spend time with in a relationship. You want to fill those moments up with all the happy feelings, right? We want our time together to be pleasurable, right? So oftentimes that causes us to steer away from the conversation that's going to make the night awkward or it's going to make it rough. But I think premarital counseling, when it's done right, makes you not escape that. Like, we only here to talk about that, right? Like, y'all can go work that out on date night later. But right now, we finna talk about this, right?
Speaking of premarital counseling, well, first of all, we had two comments that both said pretty much the same thing. Danielle and Shalonda both said 5 years is too long. Make up your mind. But speaking of premarital counseling, I was cleaning up in the room and I found the SYMBIS book, the assessment that we took in our premarital counseling. And I would really like to see if you could talk to your brother-in-law and see if we can get those results back and see if we can go over them now. I would like to do that on the podcast.
I don't even remember like what the questions were. Like,
well,
were they just like...
I'm just talking about the results, not necessarily the questions, but
Wasn't
what
it-
our results were.
Like how wasn't it like asking us questions about what we think about this, what we think about that, and then it had our like compatibility based on that?
It gave our red flags too. Like how many red flags we had. You remember that?
Yeah. So
I want to see if it was true.
oh, just see if it's like an issue.
See how accurate the assessment was.
I'm with it.
That's gonna be fun.
Devin said, Eric says, I wish I had it, man, for real. Like, it's a game changer. Devin says, shouldn't the marriage conversation take place before 3 years? If you're not ready year one or hitting milestones that show signs of marriage, a hard conversation would need to be had. For sure. Well, in my opinion, when you're doing it right, then you definitely should have had that conversation before year 3. Like, if we've been dating for a year and I'm not even sure if a marriage is what you want, then
That sounds like confusion.
then it's like, man, what have we been talking about this whole time?
Yeah.
What have we been doing?
We just been going on dates.
Yeah, I don't even know if we headed down the path. We just been kicking at the time. Yeah, something went wrong. Something went wrong.
Do you think most people date with the intent to get married?
It depends on what generation. I think the people coming up under us, I think marriage is just not revered like it used to be. Like,
Sure.
I grew up in a 2-parent household. That's rare these days, right? So I had something modeled for me that to me was the goal. Like, I used to daydream. Every girlfriend I had, I daydreamed about us being husband and wife one day.
What?
Yeah. Every serious girlfriend I had. Every serious girlfriend I
Hard
had.
eye roll. You definitely made it seem like that was just
Always dated with intention. Always.
definitely always.
Always like, I wonder what life would be like. But that's all I had in front of me. So, you know, when I had a girlfriend, I automatically started trying to formulate what that would look like. But it's just so the opposite right now. Since it's so rare, most kids don't grow. Like, when I work at a school, I talk to middle schoolers. None of them want that. It's rare that they want kids. I'm worried about the population. Like, they don't even want to procreate.
Whether they want them or not, they like doing the stuff that make them happen.
Yeah, so more than likely. But in terms of marriage, what it means, the covenant, like, I truly don't think it is valued in younger generations.
I have a mentor group up at the high school, and it's just girls. Matter of fact, it's just brown girls. And we talk about future plans. And so we had this was our last session. So last year we had all of them, probably 15 girls, come up front and say their 5-year plan. And in I won't say every, 8 out of 10 of those girls, a baby was in the plan in 5 years.
High school kids, but a man or being married was not. And it was so shocking to me, because as a teenager at their same age, I didn't want to be married either, but I also didn't want a baby. But now it's so synonymous. Like I can have my baby and I don't need a husband. I don't need a man. And I was like, man, like who's teaching y'all? Like what Life is teaching them. People have these relationships that you don't choose, that you're locked in with. Your mama, your child, 9 times out of 10, that is a relationship that's locked in. Mm-hmm. Of course, we know that that's not always the case, but mostly that's what it is. So then that becomes the desire. That's what I saw. It was me and my mama. I always could count on my mom. I want to have that. Marriages. These kids are growing up seeing volatile fights. They're seeing arguments, or they're just seeing it was just my mom. She busted the butter. She made it happen. So now I just want to have a family. I want that. Like that's what's being modeled. And to me, that's what makes the dating thing and relationships crazy. Because if the goal isn't doing life together, building lives, building communities through the concept of family, what are we doing? Now then it's like, okay, it's just about feel good. It's just about pleasure, because it's not about building something, because building something isn't always about pleasure. Building something is sometimes it's just like doing the work. Sometimes it's having the hard conversation. It's not always about what feels good in the moments. It's about what's best. But when a relationship just comes about feel good, then it's just like, oh, you don't serve me. This relationship doesn't serve me anymore. That's the language now.
We need to call our kids in here and survey them real quick, see what they think. I'm going to read some comments. Eric says, some people aren't thinking about and just be caught up in life. Robinson is laughing at something. Chastity says, wow, that's crazy. Welcome in, Chastity. Robinson also says, kids with no partner is crazy work. But literally, I'm telling you, Autumn Girls was like, I'll probably have a baby. I'm an RN. I'm a social worker, and and there's no man in the picture nowhere. Jonathan says, God blesses marriage and commitment when it's right. The young ones don't seem interested in neither. Being an example that it's a blessing is my focus. That's so good. Ours too. While we're here, and while the kids that are younger than us that we have connections with laugh at us about the podcast, I'm like, I'm just glad you're listening. I said something crazy and Mr. Davis said, did you see his? But I'm just glad you're listening.
That part. Robin says, doing the work can be tough but necessary. 100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Robinson, has your
don't do
perspective
that.
changed on
Don't
marriage?
do that.
I want him to add it. He's an older
Call him.
person.
We know him in real life. Why are you gonna ask him on the chat?
We're having a conversation.
You know him in real life.
We're having a conversation about this. He represents our generation.
No pressure, bro.
We're talking all this junk about the younger generation.
No pressure,
I
bro.
want to know.
No pressure. You could plead the fifth if you want. Okay.
Devin says daycare wasn't on that list either. No, I definitely wasn't. That's the mama job. Or the grandmama at this point. These career aspirations. Who was watching raising the children? The grandmama. He said, nah. I don't know if nah I mean nah. I ain't answering that or nah. His perspective hasn't changed.
Gee, the system is broken, bro. The system
it really
is broken. And I really believe this is a lofty statement. And it's not even about us, but just in general. Like, I really think God is raising up voices to pour into this space of just like trying to help people have healthy relationships, not just in marriages in general, but I mean, especially in marriages. Like, we have to make this work. It's bigger than you and who you kicking it with. It's really bigger than that. Like the concept of family is hanging in the balance, and family is what makes up everything else. It's so consequential to this life, yo.
Definitely.
And if we don't know how to love people well here, it just pours down the generation. It's like our kids are watching us. They're watching us argue. They're watching, like even divorce. Like you just talked about this. Like when we go do the exchange, we drop out the kids. They're watching. Did you talk to mommy? Did you not? All right. Okay. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they did talk. Okay. There was a little tension there. Like they see everything, and they little sponges. They soaking it all up. And I'm telling you, man, I'm boots on the ground with the kids, yo, and it's a crisis. It's an epidemic.
The epidemic.
I'm curious what I'm curious what the numbers are gonna look like in 10 years. How many people desire marriage? I bet you Robinson can rattle off numbers right now. How many people think it's even? I bet you he's got percentages right now.
He did answer my question. He says, "My girl gonna beat me up about it though. I want to get married, but I don't trust the government." And
Yo,
I'll just leave it
he
at that. He answered.
He said, "I want." Nah, that's
he said,
that's
I want
a
to get married. but
that's
I don't
a
trust the
huge
government."
jump. If you are invested in this whole exchange between Robinson and Randy, I want you to go back to season 4 and watch the Locker Room episode of What They Never Told Us podcast. Robinson was there. We had a whole conversation about it. He was on the episode. Shout out to him, one of our most watched episodes. Okay. I think you were a big reason to that, fam. But
Because we had an official therapist on there. It wasn't just what we think.
he was spitting. Dropping
knowledge.
gems. But I think it was also like, you just don't see men talk about emotions like that. And I think it was really dope.
It was really good.
Most of the time we see 4 guys on the podcast, it's
I still be using this Superman
Nonsense.
analogy with people. It's really
yo,
good.
that's super. That's
really
yeah.
good.
Nah, you kill that. But if you want context, go check that out, and you can get Robinson's whole life story.
Robinson also shout out his wife Kristen, wifey.
You gotta stop. You gotta say, see, you blurring the lines. Quit calling her that, bro. You said you want it, make it happen. Okay.
No pressure.
Now I'm on your head. You said it.
Jonathan said, "Man, what you man what into? Is that a response? Is that a reply?"
Yes,
or?
a reply. He says, "My girl gonna beat me up," but he's replying
to the he don't trust the
want to
government.
get married. I don't trust the government. He said, "Man, what?" Nah, on some. But look,
No.
listen.
No government's a conspiracy.
Nah, it is, bro. I watched this guy. I ain't telling his business, but there's a good reason as why he has a distrust. Like, aside from just the heartbreak of marriage, it's the stuff that happens on the back end.
Yeah.
How your whole life adjusts. And now it's not just, okay, I have to deal with my life changing with who I'm doing life with. I got to deal with my life changing on who get this, who get that,
Yeah.
how much I bring home out of my check, how my kids with me half the time. Like we split time evenly, but you still get, it's like, it's a lot that I think, yeah, don't get me started about child support and all that. I think we know the American system with that can get a little wild. But anyways, there's a lot of good reason as to why he's like, yo, I love this part, but that part right, I'll never do it again. I will never do that again. Yeah. You have more comments? Nope.
That was the last of the comments, and I'm just going.
Look at everybody trying to join the. Now y'all late. Everybody trying to jump in. Y'all late to the pod. Everybody trying to jump in and kick it with us now.
I am gonna just break a fourth wall thing. We got 21%, so if we gonna keep going, let's go. But if not, we gonna.
You're breaking the fourth wall.
The battery
The
go
fourth
back.
wall about that.
Yes.
I'm good. I'm good.
Any more questions or comments? We appreciate y'all stopping in on a Friday to come kick it with us and recap this episode. We also, I totally lost my train of thought, so forget it.
Wow. This is top tier podcast right there, man.
It's almost 10 o'clock. I am 40. It's shut down.
You came in so hot. You said, we also, I forgot what I was about to say.
Look, it's shut down at, I did not know, about
I can't say that. I do that
10
at least once an
o'clock.
episode.
The wheels ain't turning how they need to be turning.
Nah, I feel you. Listen, this crowd was different. I like the Friday crowd. We might need to do this every once in a blue moon. Saw some people kicking with us that don't
You
always
just
make
like
it
it
on
because the
Thursday.
fellas is on here.
The fellas is out here on Friday.
Because I'm texting all my girls when I get out. Where was you? No, I
always-
like the fellas too.
Yeah, nah, they was spitting gems.
Yeah.
And I think we had a real.
Most of them agree with me. Cheating is wrong.
I
I'm
ne-
just joking.
well, I'm about to lose my mind. I'm about to knock all this over.
It's okay. You pick it up.
I hate feeling misunderstood. She knows it's a trigger for me. Anyways, thank y'all for kicking it with us. We will be back with an episode on Tuesday. Get to it when you get to it. It always sounds better on Tuesday. For whatever reason, the podcast always sounds the best the day we post it.
What?
So try your best to listen to it on that day. But get to it when you get to it. YouTube will be up that day as well. We'll be back with the live. Lord willing, we'll be back on our Thursday schedule. And, never forget. We love.
And y'all should love too.
All right, y'all. Peace.